Welcome back, everybody. So today we're in the shop. While we're waiting on this thing to dry, we're going to be working on another project and then maybe doing some other stuff. So stay tuned. Let's get after it. Okay, so like I had just mentioned, while we're waiting on that to properly cure, we're going to start disassembly on the Camaro here and try to get some progress made on it. Taking the headlights, front bumper off, maybe the driver's side fender since it's got a little bit of damage, and we're going to have to fix that. So if you want to spin this around here, we'll show you what we're talking about. We've got the headlights, front bumper, and we're going to show you how it is that we take these pieces off. So if you do decide to do this in your own shop, you'll know how to do it. So stay tuned and let's get after it. Okay, so what we're going to need a trim tool. That way we can take the plastic expanding rivets out, and a 10mm ratchet and extension. The reason I like to use extension because sometimes it gets down there a little bit better, and I like the swivel head so that way it gets some of the funky angles. And that's just my personal preference. Use what you have, but for now let's go ahead and get this thing off. All right, I'll give you the trim tool and we will get situated here where we can actually see some of this stuff. So like I said, we will angle it down here just a little bit. You can see that. I will start working on Alright, so we've already got the headlights and most of the supporting hardware taken off of that. Now we're getting ready to take the front bumper off. So all that's really left is take the splash shield off the bottom, and then the bolts on the sides of it actually connected to the fenders should come right off. But I'll show you real quick what we've got done so far. Alright, so there is where the headlights were. He's already trying to get the bolts out of the splash shield. I'll show you one of those bolts real quick in case you don't already know. It is right here. There's a little splash shield that is bolted to the bumper, and once we get those loose, the other two on the fenders should come right off. So easy peasy, right? Well, we got the last bolt out, so now what we gotta do is get the front cover off, and we're getting somewhere. So let's get this front cover off, and then we'll see how we get, how far we get for the rest of the day, because we're getting close to the end of the day, but we're gonna at least try to get the bumper off, maybe the fender. So stay tuned, let's get after it. All right, so we got the last bolt out. Now we're gonna go ahead and get the front cover off. So let's get after it. Let's get everything adjusted here where we can see. And we'll get her done. Okay. That was loose. Get the pull down on that side right there. Alright, that was loose. That was loose. Pull out. Pull out right here. And then we should be able to shake it right down. We can pull this, pop it up in here, and grab down at the bottom, and we'll just lift it right off. Alright. We will take it over this way. Back behind it here.
What's going on?
Oh, no, what's going on, man?
Not much though.
Alright, so we got the front bumper off, and I'm working on getting these fender bolts out. I already got the, there's 4 fender bolts here that you take out. Pops that loose, and then there's a couple in the door, so, and they're all 10 mil. So luckily they're all 10 mil, so it's pretty straightforward. You just unbolt them and it pops right off. But the only thing is they're in kind of awkward spots. That one's back up in there. I don't know if y'all can see, but it's up in there. And then there's one down at the bottom somewhere. So, yep, we're gonna get them off, and we're gonna get this fender off too. All right, so actually, one of the last bolts is behind this inner fender. So I jacked the car up and take the wheel off so I can get to it easier. So, let's get her done. I got the thinner lander out, and now there's a 10 mil somewhere back in here. And then this fender will come off.
Should be about mid-waves on the other 10. You want to show them where it's at?
Yeah, sure.
Whoop. Yeah, you can't see, but it's back in there. You know, like.
Yeah, it should be right there.
Right here.
Once you get that 10 mil out, you should be able to get it out. And if people are familiar with these fenders, you know, you'll already know. Okay, so we've got the headlights, front bumper cover, and the fender off. We'll show you what that looks like here, and then we're going to go ahead. We've already got some of the interior pulled out so we can get to where there's a dent right there by the door and kind of see what we're going to have to do in order to get back in there to get that pushed out so we can start on some of the body work. But no more front bumpers, no more fender. I'm going to come back here, we'll show you what we got. Okay. Now, let me see that. I'll show them what we've got going on here. It looks like we've got to get in back in behind here, and there is a speaker that we're going to have to pull out right here in order to be able to get access to where we can get this dent started coming out. So that we'll have some other tools that we'll probably try to get on here and pull this out a little bit, but obviously we'll have to have something behind it in order to push it back out. So let's go ahead and get a speaker out and then see what it looks like.
All right, so what just happened?
Well, we didn't make it all the way to the top, but it is a little wet today. So,
and the four-wheel's not working.
And the four-wheel drive's not working. So we're going to have to investigate what's going on with that, because usually I think the little disconnector in the front's not kicking in. So good thing we tested to find out. Now we know. All right, so after we got the fender off, we noticed that there's a bracket here that holds a headlight in that does have some damage on it. Looks like from something previous. So we are going to take that bracket off, and that way we get a new bracket and repair the fender, and it'll all be seamless and go back on the way it should. So I'll show you that bracket real quick. But it's the bracket right here that holds all this stuff in. It's got a little bit of damage on it. He just pulled the lower section of it off. I don't know, looks like it may have a little bend in it right here. I don't know if we should take that bracket off and just replace the whole thing. How bad is this one? I know
that one's twisted.
It's mangled, yeah. I mean, that one's done. So let's compare it to the other side and see what it looks like. got a pretty good little kink in it right here. I mean, it bends easy enough. I don't know if we want to take the time, or we could probably just get the bracket and everything we need and call it done. So, alright, well, we will check that out and go from there. Alright, so we've already got the Camaro disassembled from pretty much what we're going to disassemble it as of right now. We don't have the engine out, we don't have the transmission out. That's probably going to be in the next episode because we don't have enough time for it today. But we did get started on some of the body work on it, and we're pretty close to getting it where we want it. I've got a little bit more I've got to go right through here, and you know, that's really about all the major body work there is to it. The rest of it's just going to be pretty much replacing panels, and that's all there is to it. You know, and the thing is, this car you can pretty much just about take apart with a 10mm socket, and for those of you who own one, you already know. You know, body panels are pretty easy on these cars, not a big issue, so the body work shouldn't really take us that long. But for now, unfortunately, that's all we have time for. So if you like what we're doing, you want to see more of this build, and you want to see it to completion, please hit the like button, hit the bell so you don't miss the next episode, and stay tuned. Thanks for watching, folks.